The superior man blames himself, for only he who sees his own dust can cleanse the mirror. Long ago, in the heart of ancient China, during the reign of the Ming dynasty, there lived an emperor. He was known for his unwavering justice and admirable wisdom. He ruled the vast empire with a firm hand and a noble heart. But deep within, there was a silent shadow growing inside him. Pride. It crept like a weed in the quiet corners of his soul. One morning, as golden sunlight bathed the curved roofs of the palace, a humble servant presented the emperor with a gift, a jade mirror, finely crafted, passed down through generations. It was a priceless heirloom. But when Emperor looked into its surface, he saw only a foggy, distorted image. It was as if the mirror were covered in a thick mist. "How dare you offer me a defective mirror?" he roared, his face flushed with fury. "This is an insult to my authority." The servant, trembling, fell to the marble floor and begged for mercy. "It is not defective, Your Majesty. I swear on my life." The emperor's ministers quickly gathered around. Some demanded 50 lashes. Others, harsher still, called for exile. The throne room echoed with outrage, everyone agreeing with the emperor. After all, who would dare question his eyes? Just then, an old man with hair white as Himalayan snow entered the hall. It was Master Ji, the hermit from the mountain temples. A man known for unmatched wisdom. Without a word, he took the mirror from the servant's trembling hands. With the sleeve of his robe, he gently wiped its surface. Then, he handed it back to the emperor. "Look again, son of heaven." Emperor hesitated but obeyed. And to his astonishment, he saw his own face, a face twisted with anger, eyes inflamed with arrogance, a mouth curled in contempt. The fog wasn't in the mirror. It was in his heart. "The flaw was never in the mirror," whispered Master Ji, "but in the dust your rage cast upon it." The emperor fell to his knees. For the first time in years, he felt the weight of his own fault. Tears ran down his face, washing away not just shame, but years of self-deception. "How could I have been so blind?" he asked, his voice cracking. "Because mirrors only reflect what they are shown," the sage replied. "And you, Emperor, have long seen only the faults of others." That night, the emperor ordered these words to be carved above the palace gate. "He who cleans his own mirror sees the world with clarity." From that day on, whenever a servant made a mistake or a minister failed, the emperor would first ask himself, "What dust in me is distorting this moment?" The kingdom flourished, not because the problems vanished, but because its leader finally understood a deep Confucian truth. The superior man does not seek fault in others. He seeks to correct it in himself. How many times do we, like the emperor, shout at the mirror of life when it reflects back images we don't want to see? How often do we blame the unfair boss, the insensitive partner, or a cruel fate, without realizing that the real fog lies within us? This ancient story confronts us with an uncomfortable truth. The world we see is always a reflection of the state of our own soul. The emperor's foggy mirror is a perfect metaphor for our strained relationships, professional frustrations, and repetitive cycles of suffering. When Master Ji wiped the glass with a simple gesture, he taught us that every transformation begins with a radical act of self-awareness. Imagine your last conflict. What would you see if instead of pointing fingers, you looked into the mirror of that situation with courage? Maybe you'd discover, like the emperor, that part of that anger is fear in disguise, that criticism is projected insecurity, Here's your first practical step. Create your own mirror ritual. Each morning before checking your phone, ask yourself, what emotional dust am I carrying into this day? At night, reflect, when I blamed someone today, what was my share of responsibility? This is not self-punishment, it's self-clarity, like a farmer cleaning his glasses to better see the soil he must cultivate. I once knew someone who hated his job. He always said he was a victim of a toxic boss, until one day, while doing the mirror exercise, he admitted, maybe I provoke him by turning in reports late. When he changed his approach, the boss became more open. This doesn't justify abusive behavior, but it reveals our hidden power to shift dynamics. What situation in your life feels like a foggy mirror? Could that repeated family argument hide your fear of being vulnerable? Is your procrastination masking a paralyzing perfectionism? Questions like these are doorways to inner revolutions. The most electrifying moment in the story isn't when the emperor kneels in shame. It's when he commands that the lesson be carved into the palace gates. That's the epiphany I want to offer you. Turning insight into action is what separates regret from reinvention. The emperor could have remained merely ashamed. Instead, he chose to institutionalize self-reflection. Block 7. Your own inscription. So now I invite you to carve your own wisdom into the architecture of your life. Maybe it's a sticky note on your bathroom mirror with the question, what is this conflict teaching me about myself? Or a phone alarm at 6 p.m. reminding you, review today's projections. Small rituals like the jade mirror that bring us back to our essential truth. It's not the wind that fogs the mirror, but the dust we refuse to see. This channel grows not just with stories and reflections, but with your action. When you subscribe, when you leave a like, you help this message reach others who need it too. So, make a difference now. Subscribe, like this video, and check the pinned comment for more resources that can transform your life. In the pinned comment, you'll find a free mini ebook on how to apply ancient practices of silence and clarity to everyday life, and a special course on meditation and mindfulness designed for people who want to carry this wisdom into real moments of real life. And remember, every time life shows you a difficult image, take a deep breath and ask, what part of this fog is mine? The answer might just be your first step out of the pit, like the wise donkey. But that's a story for another time.